Betcha can't eat just one. You've heard the slogan. But what you probably don't know is that every single Lay's potato chip you've ever crunched through took a wild journey, from genetically engineered potatoes to futuristic robotic arms. Today, we're going inside the world-famous Lay's factory to uncover the secrets behind one of the most addictive snacks on the planet. Oh, and before we get too deep into the crunch, let me know in the comments, what's your all-time favorite Lay's flavor? Barbecue, sour cream and onion, something weird like octopus or spicy crab? We'll reveal how each golden chip is born, engineered, sliced, fried, seasoned, and bagged in under 24 hours. Let's go. Let's rewind before the crunch. Potato chips weren't born in a lab or inside a Lay's factory. They were actually a kitchen accident. It's 1853, Saratoga Springs, New York. A chef named George Crumb was dealing with a super picky diner. The guy kept sending his fried potatoes back, complaining they were too thick and soggy. So, Crumb, a man known for his fiery attitude, did what any passive-aggressive chef might. He sliced the next batch paper thin, fried them to a crisp, dumped on a load of salt, and served it up with a smirk. But to everyone's surprise, the diner loved it. And just like that, the first potato chip was born. Fast forward 80 years to 1939. A man named Herman Lay began selling snack foods out of his car trunk in Nashville, Tennessee. Within a few years, he built a small company called H.W. Lay & Company, and by the 1960s, it merged with Frito to become Frito-Lay, the snack giant we know today. Now, Lay's isn't just making potato chips. They've engineered the perfect chip. Seriously, Lay's created their own breed of potato, known as the FL Cultivar series. It's not available to the public. It's protected under a US plant patent. Why all the effort? Because every single chip you eat is crafted for consistency, crispy but not oily, golden but never burnt. You might think it's just a bag of chips. Lay's thinks of it as a science. Those signature Lay's potatoes? They come from farms across more than 25 US states, from sunny Florida to fertile fields in Wisconsin. The secret sauce? Proximity. Lay's selects farms near their factories to reduce transport time. Why? Because freshness matters. In fact, most chips are made and bagged within 24 hours of harvest. In the summer, giant mechanical harvesters sweep through the fields, digging 10 inches below the surface and collecting up to 40,000 potatoes a minute. Here's something crazy. If you harvest potatoes too slowly in Florida, the heat from the soil can actually start cooking the spuds underground. Timing is everything. Once dug up, the potatoes are separated from stones and dirt using a vibrating conveyor system, then loaded into massive dump trucks traveling alongside the harvesters. No time wasted. From there, it's off to the cold storage barns. The freshly harvested spuds are dropped onto sorting belts where optical machines pick out any defects or rocks. Even these rejected potatoes aren't wasted. They're sent off to be used as cattle feed. What's left enters the cold cellar, a potato vault capable of storing up to 40 million potatoes at once. Inside, the temperature is a constant 45 degrees Fahrenheit, with 85% humidity, just right to keep them in hibernation. This setup locks in moisture and prevents sprouting. The potatoes can sit in this climate-controlled storage for weeks or even months, just waiting for their turn to become chips. When the factory places an order, the potatoes are loaded onto conveyors, cleaned again, and shipped straight to Lay's production facilities. Next stop, the wash. As soon as they reach the factory, the spuds take a dive into water flumes, a fast-moving channel that strips away leftover soil. Then it's onto giant industrial peelers, lined with abrasive rollers. These machines, combined, peel over 4 million potatoes every day. Then comes the inspection phase. High-tech cameras scan each potato in milliseconds. If a tuber shows rot or dark spots, a mechanical finger flicks it right off the belt mid-air. It's harsh, but fair. Only the best survive to become Lay's chips. Now the transformation begins. Each potato enters a spinning drum slicer, where centrifugal force hurls it against ultra-sharp blades. In a flash, one potato becomes 35 perfect slices, each just 0.050 inches thick. Lay's engineers even change the blade style depending on the chip. Classic Lay's uses straight blades. Wavy and ruffles, zigzag blades add that signature ridged crunch. Why so precise? Too thick and the chips won't curl. Too thin and they fold or break. Lay's aims for a sweet spot, a subtle saddle curve on each chip. Next, the slices flow into a multi-step rinse system that removes excess surface starch. First, they plunge into a water bath. Then come overhead sprayers. Then another rinse. Why all this effort? Too much starch equals chips that stick together in the fryer. That's a clumpy mess Lay's won't tolerate. Before frying, air vacuums suck up remaining moisture to prep the chips for their golden bath. Next stop, the fryer. This is where the magic happens. The slices plunge into a 40-foot-long continuous fryer filled with a blend of canola, sunflower, and vegetable oil, bubbling at 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Here's the wild part. The chips only spend about 3 minutes in this golden bath, but in that short time, a lot is happening. First, the moisture inside each slice evaporates into steam, and that steam is instantly replaced by oil. That's the secret to that addictive Lay's crunch. Not soggy, not greasy, just right. But not all oil is created equal. Lay's uses a special 50-50 oil system, half fresh, half used. Why? Fresh oil alone would make the chips too oily. Used oil keeps flavor consistent, but too much, and it affects taste. It's a delicate balance that Lay's fine-tunes every single hour. And remember that starch and moisture reading from the buoyancy test earlier. That info feeds into a system that automatically adjusts fry time based on the batch. Every potato gets custom treatment. By the end, the chips are hot, golden, and whisper thin. If you've ever opened a bag of Lay's and found a chip that's still whole, thank the conveyors. Because Lay's chips are so thin, the factory doesn't use traditional conveyor belts after frying. Instead, they rely on vibrating platforms that softly shake the chips forward. Why? To prevent damage. Rolling belts could drop, smash, or grind the chips. Lay's chips would be crushed before they ever made it to your mouth. Next up, optical sorting. A powerful scanner checks over 400 chips per second for flaws, dark spots, discoloration, odd shapes. If it sees something off, a tiny puff of air blasts the bad chip off the line. In a blink, only the golden survivors move on. Now it's time to flavor the crunch. The freshly fried chips tumble into rotating seasoning drums, where precision dispensers coat them evenly with flavor powder. One side, both sides, every chip gets love. Lay's Classic? That's just pure salt. But worldwide, Lay's has released over 200+ flavors. Fun fact, barbecue was the first flavored Lay's chip ever, launched in 1965. Since then, the brand's been experimenting like mad scientists. Which flavor would you invent? Let us know in the comments. Here's where precision really kicks in. Each chip portion is weighed using multi-head digital scales that work faster than you can blink, 30 milliseconds to be exact. Whether it's a small snack bag or party size, every portion is calculated down to the single chip. Then comes the iconic Lay's bag. Before it's sealed, it's flushed with nitrogen gas, not air. That puff at the top of your bag, it's not there to disappoint you. It's a protective pillow. It prevents chips from going stale or getting crushed during shipping. The bag is heat-sealed, date-stamped, and ready to ship, but it's not done yet. With bags sealed, they're funneled into massive boxes, some by robotic arms, some by humans with serious packing skills. Each bag is placed carefully to avoid crushing. Then, the boxes are wrapped in industrial-strength plastic, stacked on pallets, and picked up by AGVs, that's Automated Guided Vehicles for short. These bots carry the pallets into storage or load them directly onto trucks heading out to supermarkets, gas stations, vending machines, maybe even your pantry. From harvest to packaging, the entire journey takes less than 24 hours. That's how your favorite chips stay so fresh. So the next time you pop open a bag of Lay's and find that perfect golden chip, remember the journey it took, from a specially bred potato to high-speed slicing, oil chemistry, robotic handling, nitrogen gas, and flavor science. It's a snack engineered to be irresistible. Me? I can't stop at just one sour cream and onion. What about you? Let us know your Lay's strategy in the comments. And if you learned something new today, give this video a thumbs up. And if you love discovering how everyday things are made, go ahead and subscribe. We've got a whole series of mouth-watering stories on the way. See you in the next video.